Welcome back to Success in Equity on BCTV. I'm your host, Francis Mayer, and I did have an unfortunate accident with a razor this weekend. I never want to go without facial hair. And my next guest, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
First of all, tell us your name.
Sharita Knowles.
Miss Knowles. All right, very good. You brought up a YouTube video, didn't you?
I did.
Which YouTube video did you bring up?
When you told me about your unfortunate, mishap.
Right, because I tried to trim this side, and then I had to go back over here and raise it up, and then pretty soon I had this rude, sort of short French guy mustache, and it had to go, and then I had to do this guy, and then I was clean shaven. But there's a YouTube video.
The video where...
Miss Knowles, you'll have to forgive me. Just hold on here.
It was a video where the dad, he had a full beard.
Yes.
And
like a hillbilly lumberjack beard.
Right.
Yes.
And his daughter, she looked like she was about a year old. She's never seen him without facial hair. So they're playing peekaboo, and she's pulling up the towel, and then he said, Daddy will be right back. And he went in and he shaved completely. And then he came back, put the towel back over his face, and she was ready to play peekaboo again. But when she raised the towel up, it wasn't Daddy anymore. And she had a fit.
Right. And Miss Knowles, believe it or not, this happens in real life. The first time I shaved, I have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 2-year-old, Talia, Eva, and Guri. And when Talia was a baby, it was summertime, and I always knew when it was time to shave my beard off because you start getting this itch underneath your chin, like you have fleas, and then even brushing it doesn't help, and so anyway, I shaved it off, and I didn't let her watch, and she got super upset. And seeing your child not recognize you. It was like I just came out of a burn unit, like I'd become a monster. It was horrible.
Wow.
And she recoiled and screamed and totally went crazy, and that took days to get over. Actually, I would spook her coming around corners.
I was gonna say, how long did it take for her to get over that?
Yeah, it was quite a while. A lot of candy, a lot of doing stuff you do to bribe your children, but it all came around. Now, you are not a child.
I am not a child.
You are a woman in full, Miss Knowles.
Yes.
And you are here at BC because you want to change the course of your life, I assume.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And put it this way, you didn't just graduate from high school.
I did not.
And you have babies of your own, right?
I have one daughter that's in college with me right now.
There you go. We got right to the point. You never ask a woman, by the way, how old she is. It's rude as sin. But what she just shared with us is that she has a daughter in college. Mm-hmm. So draw your own conservative conclusions.
Hey, I'm not ashamed of my age.
No, well, but my point is that you're not right out of high school.
Right.
And you've done quite a bit of living between then and now.
Of course.
What compelled you to come back to college, and why didn't you do it sooner?
Right out of high school, I graduated in 1990-something.
Me too. Those were great days.
Those were
we
great
years. We have a phone. We made,
oh, my God.
We made plans with people.
We had pagers back then.
We had pagers. But you made plans with people.
Right. You actually did.
I'll meet you here at 8 p.m.
Exactly.
And then a bunch of people would meet and you would hang out. Now it's like Facebook Messenger.
Right.
Anyway, 90s were great. Don't let them lie to you.
90s were great. So the year I graduated, right out of high school, I started planning a wedding.
Oh, wow.
And I was married the next year.
Oh, goodness.
Right.
Did he know that?
He knew that.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
He's here.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
good. Yes, he is here. I didn't want to ask if that was the same guy because so many people these days.
Oh, yeah. 21 years.
Oh, good for you.
21 years. We've been married 21 years.
Oh, congratulations,
thank
Mr.
you.
Knowles. Wonderful. All right.
So right out of high school, we planned a wedding, and I got married. And college was there. It was
a thought.
It was a thought. But I didn't get back until, I was 2 kids in, 98 is when I came back. And I took a couple of classes and then kind of fell off again.
But let's face it, it's hard to go to school when you have little children.
It is. It is. That's why I tell my daughter now, she's 19, get it done now.
For serious.
Get it done right now.
Yes.
But it is doable. It's just not as easy, but it's doable.
No, and there we have a lot of absolute champions on campus who have 1 children, 2 children, 3 children. We have athletes at the college right now who are going to school full time time because you have to be eligible for athletics.
Correct.
Doing a sport, which is about 20 hours a week, and they have children.
Correct.
And they just have to have a crazy supportive spouse.
Right.
Or
And
else
I have a crazy supportive spouse.
and that's great. But you have to. You have to have family. You have
Right.
to have a support system. And we can give you a lot of that at the college, by the way. So anyway, you come back.
I came back, and then I took a class. I started a daycare, and I had a daycare for 12 years.
Oh, wow. You started your own business.
I started my own business. I have this crazy entrepreneurial spirit.
Was it hard? Did you have to kind of hustle to get kids? And I bet you that's a fine line to tread.
Well, I didn't really have to hustle because all my life I've always been the one to go to for childcare, even before I was licensed. My grandmother had 16 kids.
Oh, what? Are you
So
serious?
you can just imagine how many cousins I have, and we're all the same age.
Wait. Your grandmother
My grandmother
is like a living family tree.
right.
She had
is.
16 children?
16, 10 girls and 6 boys.
What?
And my dad was one of the boys. So we had a lot of cousins our age, and so they started having kids, and then they were going to work, and somebody had to watch the kids. And I wanted to also stay home, and I wanted to raise my girls. So
Look, I'm sure you did. Let's rewind for a minute, though. 16 kids she had.
Right.
Let me ask you this, because I was the youngest kid and of the youngest child on my father's side of the family. So all my cousins are like in their 50s and 60s now. Mm-hmm. And so I never hung out with them.
Right.
And all of the wild parties and fun holiday things happened before I was born, and everybody kind of got serious or whatever. So I feel like I missed out on that. Did you have huge barbecues and family reunions growing up?
We had huge everything. And it's just a huge church family. So it was
wow.
like
So everybody's connected.
everybody's connected, and we're connected with basically everybody in the community, in our community. So everybody knows. You can walk into a room and they'll know what my maiden name is. That's a Kemp, of course. Yes, I'm a Kemp.
Oh, how funny.
And my youngest uncle is only 8 years older than I am. So we were basically raised as cousins, and it just blended.
So do you call him your uncle? Do you call him uncle?
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay.
He's my uncle. I call him my uncle, but we're really close to them, and so.
Indeed. No, that's wonderful, and that's a blessing, and that people don't have that many children now, so it's amazing.
Yeah.
If you can think about that for a minute, me just having 3, I don't know how many total you have, but
3.
3, yeah. But I feel like I don't know how I get it all. I feel like I do laundry constantly.
Right. And it's like that with 3.
Yeah, but with
like
16, like you said, like you were called into duty to help with your cousins and other nieces and nephews, I imagine.
Right.
And it is a whole effort. The oldest kids are like
The
lieutenant parents.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it was. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll get back to your story now. I apologize, but your grandma, how impressive, right?
Right.
Amazing.
She is. She's a strong woman.
Yes.
She is.
So you had your children. You were working part-time.
So I was doing the daycare, and I made.
Oh, that's not part-time. That's full-time.
That's full-time. And so I was taking classes, and when you enroll in college, I was telling the Summer Bridge kids, do not have your first class as an online class. I took an online class.
And forgot about it until you got an F?
It didn't go well. It
Okay.
didn't go well. And I tried it twice, and it didn't go well. And I was like, well, maybe I should not be doing this online. Then I finally got the hang of it, and I started taking online classes during the daycare. After 12 years, I was like, okay, I'm going to just go ahead and close down and just focus on school, because at this point, I wanted to get my nursing degree. In those classes, you can't take online, a lot of them. So I closed the daycare down when my youngest child was a year, and so many people were upset, and I was apologizing, but I had to do this.
How many children did you have?
I took care of 12 kids, and
Wow.
they were coming in like all day. So some would leave, some would come. I would pick some up from school. And
Here's another thing that you don't understand, 19-year-old daughter of Miss Knowles, is finding childcare is like finding good childcare
Good
that jives
childcare.
with your beliefs and how
Exactly.
you think kids should be fed, and you would not realize how many opinions you have until you have a child.
right. Right.
About all kinds of things.
Everything.
Diaper brands, plastic cups versus not plastic cups, sippy cups.
Yeah. pacifiers,
Yeah,
no
we had a different name
pacifiers,
for it. Yeah,
right?
the bibby.
Binky,
Yeah, binky, bibby. All that stuff. You have it, but naps, how many times to nap.
Exactly.
And you go and interview daycare people like you've never interviewed anybody in your life.
Exactly.
And so when you quit, like you threw a bunch of people's lives into.
And they were, and I felt bad, but it was like, it's now or never.
Yeah, and it happens.
And I wasn't getting any younger. And
Right.
so, and my girls were getting older. I was
Sure.
only supposed to have the daycare until my second child was in kindergarten. And she was in 8th grade when I closed down.
Oh my
so,
gosh.
I said, okay, this is it. So my husband was like, go for it. I got you.
And it started with a supportive husband. We're going to take
Right.
a quick break, Miss Knowles, and we're going to come back for the. It's not the conclusion because your story is still unfolding, but we're going to come back with a little bit more of the Miss Knowles story on Success and Equity on BCTV.